Oh no, they got Alex Jones.
I wish I could quit you, Alex Jones.
Did they? As of course, a lot of people are making a lot of facetious AI videos surrounding allegedly the transformation of Alex Jones, as he just officially answered back Laura Loomer that patted herself on the back and gave herself credit for, quote, changing his thoughts and ideology. As she responded to Alex Jones' response, we're going to be playing small clips from that as well, while also getting into the latest Fort Huachuca theory. Yeah, you heard that correctly. I'm trying to understand it. You guys are helping me understand it. All of this as the battle lines are being drawn here, as we have a very interesting fight surrounding Candace Owens that definitely is dividing people, as Josh Hammer has now called out for Candace Owens to be involuntarily committed to a mental asylum. Isn't that what they did to Kanye? Isn't that what they tried to do to Dave Chappelle? As that's a little bit of an extreme take here to make. We'll be going over that, as of course during this Christmas, it looks like Josh Hammer is lecturing people about what we should stand for, what we should do, who should be platformed, who should be canceled, who should be sent into an insane asylum. What? Huh? Yep, we're going to be talking about that and a lot more all here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these types of conversations, subscribe, click the notification button, because we greatly appreciate all the time you spend with us. Now, there definitely is a lot of clashing in the conservative influence space. I see a lot of it as reductive. I see a lot of it as pointless. A lot of people are kind of jumping the gun and just outright just not liking this person, not hating, not loving this person, obsessing about this other person, while, of course, trying to abuse other people. And overall, I think it's important to talk about, because I think what we're seeing here is like a COINTELPRO operation that I think all of us need to just like relax, take a deep breath, take a step back, and realize what's really going on here. And I think it's important to delve into all the arguments that are being made here and to talk about them from a logical, non-emotional type of place. And I've been doing my best to do that in order to spread understanding and hopefully stop a lot of this regressing and a lot of this fighting. This fighting, who does it serve? Who does it really help? I think when you truly do look at things and kind of ask yourself, who really benefits from all this conservative infighting, as now finally Donald Trump is president of the United States, right? He has the Congress, he has the Senate, and no laws are being passed. And the right, in a position of power, as the left kind of fell down and was defeated by them, it looks like some people just really want to fight. Some people just want to keep their swords out, and they want to keep swinging. And I would argue that a lot of people are kind of swinging very violently in places that don't need to have any particular fighting. And as the Hodge twins came out and says, look at Loomer trying to divide the right even more, quote, for Israel, as she came out and she released a message essentially kind of claiming responsibility for the shift in Alex's mindset. Now, Alex responded to this by saying this.
That is not correct. But first off, I have not been going after Candace Owens to be part of a publicity stunt or infighting like all these other people do. I've been on here 31 years. It's not what I do. I saw the incredible stuff that she and her people were saying. I've always liked her, so I said, I better check this. And I went sort of checking into it, and it just...
And that's been the kind of main accusation against Alex. It's like, oh, you're just trying to like start drama, and because you get drama, you get clicks, views, and attention. When clicks and views and attention are down on the right. Now, why are they down on the right? Well, a number of factors. One, AI slop. AI videos are taking the jobs of content creators. I look at Twitter right now, and it's all AI videos. AI. The clip we read in the beginning of this video is an AI video. One. Two, political fatigue. People are sick and tired of politics, and it's a low season, right? Midterms, it gets a little bit higher. Elections, it gets higher. But overall, people usually just don't give a damn about this type of stuff. They usually care about elections. Three, people are just disillusioned. People who are like, yes, we fought and won, and we're going to do great things. And we're like, okay, we're financing more wars in the Middle East and in Europe, and we're protecting the Epstein client list. Now, Donald Trump released a new statement that's kind of wild, We'll be going over that statement in a new video, probably on the main channel, so go check that out. That's probably going to be Saturday's video, by the way. But overall, a lot of people are like, yay, we fought against the deep state, and now we're paying for the deep state and protecting the deep state and falling on the sword for the deep state. There's a lot of people like, I don't want to listen. I'm done. People are like, I'm tuning out. So numbers are down, and Alex is being accused of starting drama for clicks. And granted, there are people in this industry that do this. Is this what Alex's motivation is? Well, that's up for a lot of people to judge.
Just went from bad to worse. And then I nicely came out and said, hey, I've got concerns on this and that. And her surrogates and a bunch of people, now her, basically said that, I'm a terrible person and this just shows who I am. Well, I've been proven right on the two things I had concerns about. A, I know that there's a cover-up in Charlie Kirk. So everybody investigating that's great, so am I. I broke on September 16th that Kash Patel, in a cabinet meeting, yelled at Tulsi Gabbard and said, I don't want to hear about foreign involvement or any of his accomplices.
And stopped the foreign investigation, which is pretty big here. I still have so many questions about the Patsy guy. What the hell is that? But the address to Loomer was pretty specific.
It's all on record. You know that the head of CBS USA, is on airplane 30 looking at this, and I go, everybody's asking me, look at the planes, look into this guy, so I go, look.
There was one specific clip where he specifically addressed Loomer, and he pretty much said, I don't know what Loomer's talking about here, as her tweet says that she's the one that convinced him to speak out against Candace, and Alex kind of goes in and kind of describes what was going on here between her and their conversation. Now, there was a shorter clip where Alex was having kind of troubles, and he kind of went on and explained specifically how a lot of the stuff that this kind of came from a conversation that he's even perplexed about. And he kind of gently pushed back against Loomer without, of course, kind of throwing Loomer under the bus by specifically, I can't find the clip. I'm trying to find the clip. I was like, where's the short explanation that he gave? I'm like, I can't find it. He tweets way too much. Anyway, he specifically explained, no, that's not what happened here. And now Loomer is responding, saying, I'm not sure why Alex Jones is upset with what I posted. I genuinely meant it. And then she goes on and kind of clarifies. But her post was kind of what a lot of people allege to be throwing Alex Jones under the bus here. And it did make it seem like a lot of people are now saying that Loomer is allegedly a handler and a controller, as people are saying. She just came from Israel, and now she's giving out orders to Alex Jones and telling him what to do. And Alex was like, no, that's not what's happening here. Now, before going into the Josh Hammer situation, which I think is a little bit more of a serious situation, as well as the Fort Huachuca theory, just really quickly, thank you all for signing up to lookunfiltered.com. It means a lot to us. We take money from you. We don't take money from countries, special interest groups, lobbyists. We're not for sale. We're for sale for you. And people are like, why do you keep asking for donations? Because that's how we do it. 20 cents, $8 a month. It's cheap, less than a Starbucks yuppie latte. You get access to the Discord where you get to talk to other like-minded members. You get almost half off of t-shirts that are exclusive designs that no one else could get. You get 3 master classes. You get to talk to me one-on-one. I'm going to go into the chat room later on today and talk to all of you great people. I'm going to give you guys sneak peeks into what I'm working on, into some of the projects that I'm going to be working on in 2026. Some good things are going to be had here, and they're mainly possible because of your support on lookunfiltered.com. And they wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for your small support. And it means the world to us that you support us, that you allow us to continue. We're in the red this month, last month. It just happens. Again, viewership down tremendously. But it's okay. It happens. There's flows. We've been around for 21 years. And if you appreciate all the work and all the risks we have taken throughout the 21 years of work, subscribe to lookunfiltered.com. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. The link is down in the description below, and it means the world to us that you do sign up here. Now, Loomer kind of came out. He's like, I don't know why Alex is upset. Naomi Shibit came out and says, the compliment you gave him was the self-serving claim that you supposedly influenced a change of his entire worldview. It is not nice to air out private conversations to highlight your importance. Hope that helps. And I think that kind of highlights the crux of the argument that Alex was specifically making here, as now other people are going after Alex, who in that same video came out and says, it doesn't matter if Candace's information is right. We don't care. We hate TPUSA, and we're going to, quote, bring them down. Quote, and people are highlighting this clip as something to attack him. Other people are saying, no, Alex kind of nailed it, as he's kind of describing how allegedly Candace and her fans do not care about TPUSA, and that destruction is their kind of main goal. Now, is that their kind of main goal here? I don't know. I'm still trying to kind of make sense of all of this. There's a lot of different theories. The latest theory is about Fort Huachuca, as people now are going off and talking about how, and allegedly Candace came out and found a guy that allegedly invented a story that accused powerful, high-ranking people. Now, there's a Grok explanation here. Quote, the theory advances by Candace Owens via her podcast claims whistleblower Mitch Snow witnessed figures like Kirk's widow Erica, Congressman Mark Amandi, and Security Chief Brian Harpel at the September 9th meeting based on an MP incident report she released showing Snow's detention there. Debates intensified with Alex Jones highlighting alibis. Amandi on C-SPAN in D.C., Harpel airborne, prompting Owens to frame pushback as a, quote, psychological war, while skeptics label it as a hoax exploiting unverified sightings and base access records. Now, records could be falsified, records could be faked. I need more, right? I need more than just kind of accusations here. And a lot of people are kind of going by and talking about how this theory doesn't really hold water here. Now, again, all theories and all whistleblowers are worth kind of listening into, but a lot of people are also pointing out how allegedly this whistleblower has committed frauds before. The quartering says he lied and Candace raised $200,000 for a liar and an alleged, quote, abuser of women. I don't know if that's true or not. And I've kind of tuned out during this holiday season, to be quite honest with you. I've kind of like tuned out. I'm like, oh, I'm just like, I don't even want to know at this point. I'm getting back into it, and I told you guys I'll get back into it just to give you my kind of fair, honest assessment and take here. But Candace came out and says, France, Israel, Australia, the Daily Wire, PragerU, Turning Point USA, Alex Jones, Christian influencers, the entire mainstream media, APAC, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Big Pharma, and Hollywood, quote, versus me, as she retweeted Lionel Media, as Candace Owens responded to someone, we're going max. And again, I do think there's some criticism that is deserving of everybody, right? I do think Candace did get some things wrong, right? Especially going in the early kind of phases of all of this. I think there have been some mistakes made. Now, is she my persona enemy number one? No. I think it's crazy to try to like attack each other and to try to cut each other down. And I see a lot of this as these types of attempts that are ridiculous. Now, again, even when Alex did it, I was like, I just see this kind of as a waste of time, because I think we were at a point where the Erica Kirk Candace meeting happened and everyone was like, okay, we're ready for tensions to die down. And Alex kind of came out being like, I gotta go after Candace. And I'm like, Now, again, I think he's trying to do it legitimately. I think he's trying to express his form of information personally, but there's other attacks that are a little bit more disingenuous and more radical that I think aren't warranted. And that, of course, is Josh Hammer now calling out and talking about mental asylums. Here's a short 12-second clip of his latest kind of dissertation, which echoes the same type of talking points of Ben Shapiro.
In a just society, she'd be in a mental ward right now. She would have been in a mental ward a while ago. I personally am a big proponent of bringing back the involuntary commitment laws of the 1960s. In my view, she should be involuntarily committed to a mental asylum.
No, I think that's going a little bit too far there. A little bit too crazy, as she came out and says it's one of their tactics, which becomes easily identifiable when you learn the true history of Sigmund Freud. In the mid-19th century in Vienna, a satanic cult of parents were hurting children. If when these children told others about what they have endured, those parents would have had their psychologist friends commit them to sanitariums. I recommend you read The Assault on Truth by Jeffrey Mason to learn more. Once you learn the truth, you see people like Josh Hammer for exactly what they are when they deploy these, quote, sadistic tactics. She went on and says, it's also important to note that Sigmund Freud wrote explicitly that psychoanalytic movement was created as a tool against the Catholic Church. He was a member of the Bin Birth and viewed Christians as the enemy. At least he was, quote, honest about it. There's also a lot of, eugenics and all this other stuff out there. But again, now a lot of people are talking about Callan, I think Kaepernick, the personal trainer for Kanye West that literally threatened to institutionalize him if Kanye wasn't saying the things that they wanted him to say. Josh Hammer is continuing on his kind of crusade here, which I think is not just fruitless, but counterintuitive and stupid. As Josh Hammer says, years of bickering over the nature of the right reached a fever pitch at TPUSA, yeah, thanks to Ben Shapiro. And then he reiterates Ben Shapiro's line saying, no. We have to discard the bad. And I'm like, no, I'm just allergic to that. I'm allergic to this leftist, liberal, woke type of ideology where we're being told. Now, again, counter ideas, counter facts. Admit when you're wrong. I think that's a word of advice for everyone here, right? Admit where you're wrong, debate the ideas, stop debating personalities, and stop using underhanded, unfair tricks to try to silence, censor, and destroy people's lives. Can we just live by those rules? Can we just establish that? Can we just have, the 5 commandments of online right-wing discourse? Ideas over people. Let's just fight over that. And I do legitimately think, and I'll get pushback on this, and I like Alex, and I've known her for 20 years, so I am biased. I do think Alex is trying to engage in this type of battle of ideas. Right timing? I was hoping for more peace over the holiday weekend, to be quite honest. I made a post saying, guys, please stop fighting. And then people are trying to get me involved in drama against my friends. And I'm like, I'm tired. Stop it. Relax. Chill. Second, admit when you're wrong. People have been wrong here. People got wrong facts. People came out, and they need to be more honest, less theatrical, less PR inducing, less of showmanships, and more of, here's the facts. And if you're theorizing, tell me you're theorizing. Don't say, tune in next week, guys, and I'll give you all the answers, and we have them all. Because we don't. Let's just be honest with ourselves. We don't. We don't have all the answers. We don't know exactly what's going on. How all this type of things unfold, well, it's only regressing the more we continue down the same pathway and not kind of approach these rules. Third of all, let's stop trying to cancel people and destroy their lives and to debank them and to deplatform them and to oust them out of society because they expressed a theory that you don't like. Address the theory through logical type of conversations, not emotions. The 3 commandments. Someone should make that a tweet. If you can't make that a tweet, I'll retweet it, get it out there, because I think those are rules to kind of live by. As Josh Hammer, I think, is doing the exact opposite of that. As he says, if one's trying to, the right leaders must exercise discernment, keep the good and discard the bad. What do you mean by discard the bad? His language against Tucker Carlson also kind of sickening. You got to be careful, especially with how violent politics has become about this type of escalatory language that you use, Josh, and it's irresponsible, and it's very dangerous, and it's very reckless. And then he goes on, if one tries to conserve everything, he will conserve nothing at all. he goes on in his speech and then essentially just ethos the same type of PR talking points by Ben Shapiro. He released this by Newsweek saying, what exactly does the right stand for? And then he goes on and, again, does the same type of grandstanding type of delusional thinking that is totally out of touch of reality.
It's not going to save this country. They're trying actively day in, day out to tear it down, destroy it. If America is going to be saved, it's going to come from the right. And is not going to come from a right that is confused as to who was the good guy in World War II. As to whether or not the United States should have actually sided with Hitler.
He's going after Tucker Carlson and his type of point of view. And again, history, we could debate that personally, but you could see he's going after Tucker Carlson here because he platformed someone that gave an alternative viewpoint of history.
And spread fascism throughout the European continent. Those are not the kind of quote-unquote just asking questions that are going to make the right and the conservative movement a healthy vehicle. Those are not the kind of antics and tactics and just asking questions shenanigans that are going to pull over independent voters, moderate voters, the voters who don't necessarily vote for someone but vote against someone. 2016 is a great example of this, by the way. There's a lot of truth in the notion that Donald Trump's positive agenda when it comes to realism in trade and immigration, foreign policy, carried the day, partially, especially in the Rust Belt in the Midwest.
Well, if you remember, the neocons, the Ben Shapiros of the world, really didn't like Donald Trump back then. They were actively campaigning and fighting against him as there was a big war between the Bush era, old school types of neocon Republicans that I would argue Josh represents that were defeated. But they're still coming back. And Donald Trump is placating them and setting up a lot of policies for them, which I think is a blunder and mistake. What do you think about my 3 commandments? I mean, I'm nobody. I'm not that popular to even set those up myself. But if I was, I think those were important ones. If you do too, share this video. Thank you so much for supporting us on LukeUnfiltered.com, and it means the world to us. I want to be here for you guys doing that, and this is why I love you guys. I think I'm going to post this on my second channel, so thank you for being here on the second channel with all of us. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on Luke Rudowski.